It's Week 14 of the National Football League, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Colts and the reigning Super Bowl champs, and it's coming up next.
Let's get him. Come on.
NFL football has come to Southern Nevada as we are in the menacing new Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. The atmosphere here, electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Indianapolis Colts. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 24 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks. And plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
First and 10, Taylor now. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. gun. Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. So the Raiders backed up here to begin their first drive. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for a Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And they'll begin by running the option. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready and looked for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
On 1st down, Jacobs. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Hurts. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's the reason why. Well, we just saw shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, a one-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. He'll get this up to the 34, and a good lane opening up right away for him.
That's a very nice game there. Confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Completes this out left to Ruggs. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Frank Reich not so sure about that last call. He's going to go ahead and throw out the challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So Frank Reich had it right as his guys win the challenge. To throw again on second down. Hurts. He finds his man. Complete. It's Jacobs. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they'll go to the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Off the option, here's Jacobs. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, Winston. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Flushed out right. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jalen Hurts with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Raiders are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. He told us he was going to hit the end zone a couple times in this game. I just don't know that he envisioned doing it in the first quarter.
He probably did. I'm not sure we did, right? Because all the great ones, that's what they do. They dream about it, right? They think about it. They envision it. They think it's going to happen and almost will themselves into it. I just look at what he's done so far and just wonder what's left to come. Let's sit back and enjoy this one.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. scoring the touchdown. Ready to kick it away is Carlson. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Play fake. Winston. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Raiders have recovered.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
1st down, Drake. Fights through it. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because, you know, all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Jacobs, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hurts. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Throwing is Hurts. And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Boy, so if you are scoring at home, Charles, and God bless you if you are, but that's now 3 drives and 3 touchdowns.
So in a baseball game, wouldn't that wreak havoc on your scorecard?
Yes.
I mean, with all the action that's happening now, how they got here, whatever cliche you want to bring into it, they're locked into a groove, they're clicking on all cylinders. Bottom line, they're piling up the points.
Carlson on for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for. And remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that.
On 2nd and 7, Winston. That's complete to the running back, Nyheim Hines. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down. Jameis to throw it. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A 40-yard punt, no return. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Running right through him. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
Well, partners, my old man used to say, make sure you strap up tight if you're going to try and stop one of those big horses out there. As you just saw there, this guy does not go down easily.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Got an open man. It's Ruggs. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down,
They might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete to Judy.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise when that position keeps the football, and what a nice gain on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Good job there getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. On 1st down, it's Drake. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Hurts. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
But they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now a toss to the left for Jacobs. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. They'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, we head over to the Pacific Northwest, check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Tyler Lockett, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, over 200 yards on the ground with a couple of touchdowns as well. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Colts. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both teams making their final adjustments before we get started once again. And for the call of the second half, let's send you back out to Allegiant Stadium and Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Drake. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They go play action with Hurts. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 53 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
On fourth down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. The kick by Carlson is good. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the counter, it's Taylor. And the safety, Trayvon Merrick, up to make the play defensively.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Second down, another run with Taylor. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On third down, Winston. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Hurts. Flush to his right. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. Colton Miller, former first-round pick, called for the penalty there. This to Jacobs on the toss right. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Here's A.J. Cole now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Yeah, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Winston now. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Malcolm Kuntz. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Colts on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. And we peek at some of his work from this game where he's nearing 100 yards.
And haven't we gotten pretty close in this game nowadays in the NFL to almost taking labels off of the tight end position? These guys now can be the #1 option in an offense, and that never used to be the case. So now how do you even match up with them? Cornerback, safety, linebacker, all 3 will have deficiencies against the best tight ends in the game.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to be met at about the 43.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. A give, it's Jacobs off the option. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 60 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
Brandon, when a defense just get off the field on 3rd down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Carlson able to put this one through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Indy set to go on offense once more. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Jameis now on 1st down. Middle of the field, he finds Pascal. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Winston. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Winston. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
1st down, Winston. He'll chuck this down to Hines. And he's got this down to the 35.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. They'll throw again. Winston. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up fourth down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Colts unable to convert here on fourth down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those fourth down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on fourth down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on fourth down. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll run on first down. Jacobs. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. On 3rd down, it's Jacobs. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, go into pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. This to Hines on the drop-off. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Second and 2. Here's Winston. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. So this one winding toward a conclusion, and how would you assess how the secondary is playing?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Las Vegas, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns.